how we're having any type of form of a task or class in 2021. I know there has to be a form of it, but why are we still having an underworld, a Sheol, a place of death? And who's going there, right? Who's supposed to inherit the earth? And even if we do, why are we even talking about it being in the underworld, or are we talking about commoners, peasants, and servants? Because it's still commoners, peasants, and servants. You see what I'm saying? Or Sudra, right? So again, in the first video, I showed the structure of it. We're going to talk about what it means. So again, we're just questioning things, right? Because I think we've been talking about all this other stuff, and again, same thing. There's been a collapse. They're rebuilding, and they're still trying to keep certain people, again, regardless of who it will be, in a certain position, it feels like. So again, this infrastructure, 1887 from French infrastructure, and again, this is coming real quick after that whole D17, right? When America could be strong on her own. It's saying infrastructure, the installation that forms the basis for any operation. So again, this is an operation or system. Originally in a military sense. We're going to go ahead and look at what the bill or what the infrastructure plan is after this. Infrastructure now, the base structure of features of a system or organization. The stock of basic facilities and capital equipment needed for the functioning of a country or area. So again, it's even giving me the whole thing of Israel. It's even giving me the whole thing of, like what's in a functioning country. So again, is this going to be a land that's set aside? Is this like a promised land situation? Is this going to be like a division where these people are going to be able to have their own land and be able to function as they may? And is it okay to do this now? Because everybody has had the prick, and people are not really paying attention because we've gone through a collapse and a reset. It's all a form of Genesis, right? So again, infra. Let's go ahead into below, beneath. So again, we are talking about something that is below or beneath. I don't know what, right? Are we talking underworld, or are we talking about the commoners, peasants, and servants, which I think is the Sudra? Because again, while some people were building, does that include them? Because I believe it says something about family ties or something like this when I was looking at the definition in on another website. So it says word forming element meaning below, beneath, below, underneath. So again, are we talking the underworld? On the underside, beneath, also later than, small. Again, so later than, like I said, is also making me think of, like I said, so there can be a positive outlook, right? But then again, we need to be vigilant and we need to be paying attention because most of our people are not, did not extract themselves from the system, nor did they change their nationality or their status, right? Also later than, smaller than, inferior to. Again, inferior to what? See, because who is supposed to inherit? Okay, the righteous is going to inherit the earth. Again, is this going to be a dividing of a nation? Are we going to be set apart? Is this going to be something where they're putting this money in so that people can build their own, so quote unquote, country or nation? Is this about nation building, or is this another term for subjugation? related to Inverness, low, below, under, Sanskrit Adna, um, under, among, okay? But again, see, I'm saying like among because there hasn't been any exodus yet or any kind of exile where people have been moved or anything like this. Again, not that what I'm saying? Sometimes I feel like I'm in a bubble or something, but not that I'm aware of, I guess. Um, but I think that in a sense we could be talking about like something among too, so like so-called communities, certain communities, right? The building, it could be the building of certain communities as well. Again, that's why we're just questioning this because no one has broken it down on this level. Okay, it's just kind of like something that's coming in under our noses, right? So let's see. Modern popular use of date 1920. So again, it would be important to know what happened in 1920 so we can know what was going on with building of nations then. What was happening? Was it something peaceful or was it something like a catastrophe? As an opposite to super, often in science fiction. Okay. So again, we have some of these things right here that are related terms like fracas, which means crash or sudden noise, tumult, a bust, a fuss. And that's what the hell people need to be doing, making right now. Inferior, of land. Land also refers to groups of people or people. Lower, down, under, position, okay? Inferior. Again, inferior to who? Pertaining to underworld. There we go. The underworld. Under, below, beneath one's dignity, unbecoming to one's position in society. Again, is that what we want to have in 2021? Infrared, below the red. Again, is this below the red line that's on the caste system? Pyramid. Under, beneath, among. Okay, in subjugation. Okay, under, let's see, subjugation to, under the rule of, by means of, also. Again, nobody should, who's under the rule of anybody? Showing me. Not nobody of this world. Inferior in rank, less than, in age, price, value, lower in position or rank. This is servitude. This is slavery. Between, among, and still under these circumstances. Indisposed, under the table, a sense of very drunk. Okay, reminded me of drunkards, right? Not paying attention again because we've been fed this pot of bull this whole time, in fear, in a sense of illegal, dishonest, to keep something under one's hat, secret in 1885, to have something under one's nose, in plain sight, and that's exactly what the hell is going on. To speak under one's breath in a low voice. 1832. Down to defeat, death, or ruin. Again. Through a range downward. Again, this is where the people that were the ones that are not righteous and the ones that were the children or of those who enslaved in a sense. So again, who's supposed to be down here is sure not supposed to be the originating people. Through a range of downward into unconsciousness or into a state of subordination or subjugation, below something quantity or limit, below the horizon, down below, further down, lower in rank, power, or authority, located beneath something or someone else. And again, who? Underachiever. And again, this is why unity was key. This is why unity was key.
And I said what I said in the other video. So we didn't build. So again, belly, underbelly, the belly of the beast. So again, people are right back in there. How did somebody allow, how did we as a group allow for something like this to happen if this is what it is? And if it's not, then we need an explanation of inferior breeding of animals. Again, animals referring to people when you break it down in etymology. Okay. Small trees in the forest. And again, a lot of us come from big trees. So what does that mean? A lot of us come from the root, the underclass, subordinate social class, underclass. Okay. It does say sheltered here undercover. But again, sense of operating secretly. Undercut, to cut down, off. And again, so this leaves, again, a lot of things in the hands of those people that will be taking advantage of those things that they should have just given you back. They should have, nobody should have to go looking for anything. It should have just been given. Information should have been given. Things should have been done. And that's what we should have been putting our time in. That's what they should have been putting their time in, instead of recreating something that's ridiculous, that won't stand. To cut down, off, or under. A beaten dog in a fight, underdressed, low in amount. Okay. Let's see, under hybrid form. So again, when we think about whatever rights that were being lost throughout this whole thing in a reference to Thoreau. Okay. So again, this is going to also have something to do with your so-called rights. Draw a line under. So again, I'm just saying, I mean, this is something that really we should not be talking about anybody, anything else that we think that is important that they have been putting out there for us to be bickering about. You notice that right around the time we're talking about this, all these shootings and everything is coming back up, because then they wanted us to be emotional and in fear and upset about those things and not paying attention. This is the number one fucking thing that people in general need to be concerned about right now. Especially those people, if they think they're going to be putting the origines back in these type of positions. I think not. From under state. Okay. So again, entrap, low or subdued. Okay. So again, when we're talking about subduing, go ahead and break down subdue. Go ahead and look at it in the Bible. We're going through another form of Genesis. Again, it's just a modernized way. It's just a infrastructure deal. It's just another way of saying you're going into servitude for a certain group of people in this land. And it may look all nice and good and things from the outside, but again, once you start digging into it, you'll find out that, again, there's certain things that you won't be able to do. And again, at this point, when the collapse came, we're supposed to be free. We're supposed to be out, able to do whatever we want to do. And that means that you should be able to not be in this position. And that means that we should be able to eliminate this position. And people should just be either all commoner peasants and servants, or again, other. And again, that's what I said. It seems like there's been a selection of who's going to be serving in what portions of this class or this caste. And again, it's supposed to be by blood or heraldry, not by what your status is. So again, as long as you know who you are, it is what it is. And can't nobody tell you nothing else. Of ships. See, again, take you into slavery again, and with ships, right? So again, have begun to move underway in reference to projects. Let's look at this real quick. Underway projects, activities, okay? Currently in progress. Again, beneath, we're just talking about this again. Ooh, something just flew up in here. Right up on me. Okay. So it says a road, a path, a course to travel, a way, room, space, freedom of a movement. So again, freedom, so-called, or freedom of a movement. Because again, they're talking about in this plan, like highways and bridges and shit like that. So again, it will be important for us to break those down too. A course of life or a spiritual choice, travel away, to go move transportation in a vehicle. Again, move transportation in a vehicle. You see? I mean, and this is what we were just reading not too long ago. We're talking about what was going on with colonization and people being hewn down in Jeremiah and just in history. Again, so they think that they're going to be able to move you in a certain direction. And I'm just saying, what is this? What are we really talking about? We're going to need some explaining. Way out, way off, quite wrong, so on. So again, we're going to go ahead and look at the thing. We're going to look at it and see what it's really talking about. But I think that we should just be appalled that this is even saying what it's saying so far. And what were we doing? What were we doing? Again, those that were building, there are some of these people that were legit building out of the kindness of their heart, their being. They were doing, some people think that they were doing something. Other people didn't maybe realize. But again, the majority of the people are still in a certain class or status. A majority of the people don't even really know about any of this stuff. And so again, those are our people still. So again, is it just so like, and I'm pretty sure some of these people, again, if we're talking about plants, we're talking about plants and animals and chattel. This is talking about Genesis 1. And many people think we're talking about plants and stuff in Genesis 1. And we're talking about people. And when it says let the earth join with the earth, it's talking about other darker skinned people from different places. They had to use people that look like us to infiltrate in the first place first. Once they got those people in, then the lighter version of those people came, the Israelite, which is the lighter version of those people, are the ones that came over. And then that's when all the chaos happened. So it was cool at first, possibly. Yeah, we were probably looking at them like, wow, these people, where did they come from? But again, once you let them in and married with them, then you understand that there was another portion of them that you had not seen that was going to be on the way. And these would be the people that would be planted there by governing forces in order to do certain things in certain positions of power. So again, when we look at certain things as to why people were getting land patents, and people that got many land patents must have been fighting many wars against many people that were already originally here. You see what I'm saying? Regardless if they were coming from different tribes from different parts of the nation that were already mixed and everything and then coming in, it doesn't matter. When we're talking about the Irish, some of those Irish were dark skinned. And we're talking about when they came in, a lot of those people are ones that got, they're not the only ones, but those are the ones that got land patents, the ones that were fighting for something for the Americas. And we know at these times in 1870s, 1700s, what was going on and how these people mixed in and how they got mixed into the families, right? So if you look at the coat of arms of like a portion of your family and then where the Irish bloodline comes in and look at the coat of arms of the Irish side of the family, you'll notice, well, for mine, they're both pretty similar, but the one for the darker race people with the last name, with the last name of Pitts, they had the belt buckle or whatever strapped around the coat of arms. So again, that must mean some kind of binding or bound in a sense, right? Where the other, McLaughlin side had it was very similar, but it didn't have that, right? So again, I'm just looking at this like, what are we talking about here? And did something just get pulled over our eyes? Because again, it says to be vigilant in the Bible, and it says because again, they're going to be looking for another way to snare you or bring you back into slavery. And again, this is where our lack of knowledge comes in. And we have people that were, fighting about these particular type of things. But again, at the end of the day, most of the people are not in that position. And so now look what happened. And what are they saying about this? And did we're looking into all those things. Nobody was looking into this. And I've been trying to prepare us for something like this for a very long time. And that's not to knock anybody. I'm just saying, because I've had a lot of hate and a lot of, from certain people and certain groups, you know, I've gotten a lot of backlash. Okay. And a lot of isolation and people trying to talk down on me. So, and people that speak about things that I speak about like this. So that, again, people will stay away from that form of thinking, because, again, guess what? Some of these people possibly may be in higher positions. So again, it really wasn't about you. It was about them. Some, not all. Again, if it's not about you, then don't take offense at all. If you didn't know, don't take offense at all. And then what do we have to say for it now that we're going to be hearing about this? Because, again, like I said, I like to go to the basics. I like to go back to the root of things. And that is where you're going to get the most. But again, most people don't want to hear it. And I'm sorry that, I'm not sorry. I feel bad. I feel bad. I feel bad that, that's the way that it was looked at. And again, look at what we have here. So again, there might be a positive outcome. There might be a different explanation. We might just be missing it, but this is what it means. So while we were drunkards or drunken about all these other things, this was going on. And while people are saying, don't look into the past, let's just be here now in the moment and live now. And we don't need, history repeats itself then. And when people don't unite and they have lack of knowledge, you're going to be going right back into the same thing. So again, this should never have happened. I felt it. I felt it coming. Source been telling me something. I was trying to keep up with the last thing with the last bill. And then we talked about the C10 and the other bill, 117 or whatever. And then now this, everything is coming so fast. So the point of this video is to be paying attention to this, and anything else that they say in the headlines as to what decisions they're making, you need to be paying attention. We need to be bringing awareness. Forget every fucking thing else. Need to be having somebody need to be saying something about this, something a little bit deeper about this. Because it's not too late. They're going to have us think because they saying they did this, that this is too late, but it's not. Again, don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Take care.